Plenty of room for improvement for the NFC South. This has been a division that has been down for a while. Are they on the come up? Who got better? Bucs, Falcons, Panthers, and of course the New Orleans Saints, and potential breakout players to watch in preseason and in camp in the NFC South on today's Peacock and Williamson.
NFL analyst Brian Peacock and former NFL scout Matt Williamson bring you expert NFL analysis every day in less than 30 minutes. Get an inside look at the NFL on the field and in the front office with elite breakdowns to next-level analysis and in-depth information only for the real NFL fans. This is Peacock and Williamson, and it starts now.
Welcome to the Peacock and Williamson NFL Show. Brian Peacock alongside Matt Williamson, as always, at BD Peacock, at Williamson NFL. The second to last division here as we preview the season, reminding ourselves what happened in the offseason, who got better, who didn't, and some potential breakout players we're excited to see in the 2025 preseason and regular season. Thanks to all the everydayers that are with us. Make sure you're subscribed up on YouTube and everywhere you get your podcast. Hit it with some mailbag questions on Twitter or in those YouTube comments, and tell a friend about Peacock and Williamson. Let's keep growing this thing and talk about the NFC South on today's program. And we got to go to the division champs as we have been. We'll go standings order from 2024, which goes Bucs, Falcons, Panthers, Saints. And is there enough reason to believe that this division will be shooken up as far as those standings go this season, starting with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Did they get better? Probably the biggest loss was their offensive coordinator, who now leaves for Jacksonville. And this is a team that was able to overcome that. Can they do it again?
2 years in a row. You know, I mean, people are plucking the guys away from the Bucs, and I gotta say, I mean, I don't think they're thought of in this light. And I'm not saying they're the best team in the league, but this has quickly become one of the best organizations in the league. I mean, drafting, ownership, coaching on all sides of the ball, player development, veteran leaders, you know, the Mike Evans of the world and Levante Davids and Vita Veas and those type of dudes. It's become a really good winning culture. And to me, still the class of this pretty poor division. I mean, it's such a different conversation than the AFC North division, unless Michael Penix is a monster this year, you know.
I think you do have to mention Jason Light is one of the better ends in the NFL, right? And Todd Bowles has obviously done a phenomenal job, and Baker Mayfield has found a home there now as the franchise quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and all of them coming together. And it's nice to be in a division where you can win 10 games and run away with the division almost.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not the hardest division in the world, but they seem like they win it every year.
Yeah.
You know, somebody said that. Yeah.
Not too far removed from a title either.
No. I mean, that was Brady, but still, I mean, a lot of these dudes have rings, you know. I mean, better. I don't know if they're better. I mean, their first round pick is kind of a luxury item. They weren't super aggressive in free agency. I think we have to mention that one of the premier offensive linemen is going to miss time to start the season, and that's a really hard thing to overcome. I mean, I might rather be without Mayfield for 2 games or whatever, you know.
Than Tristan Wirfs, right?
Yeah.
So that's a bummer of news before before training camp even opens for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You mentioned the draft. I think it's an important place to go for the Bucs because this is a draft more about luxury in the future than it is maybe immediately. I think Emeka Egbuka could come in and play right away, but as far as teams in the NFL that have two very, very established veterans, like you're not going to be more than penciled in at number 3 on the depth chart to start your career, even as a first-round wide receiver. And then Benjamin Morrison's got all kind of injury problems. Is he going to be healthy and ready to play early in his career as the number 53 overall pick, second-round pick, a cornerback out of Notre Dame? Jacob Parrish, I think, is a nice player, could play an inside or outside role. David Walker could give you a little pass rush in a rotational role, but it's really hard to envision some big-time, like, starting contributors from this draft class early.
Yeah, and you remember mock draft season when there'd be a mock that came out every 10 minutes. A high percentage of them had Jahad Campbell or an off-the-ball linebacker or an edge, you know, in a really deep edge class. And they really kind of ignored those 2 spots, which I think could be argued were their 2 biggest needs. Now, I do think there's some breakout candidates in those 2 spots, and they might like some of those guys better than the public does. But, you know, did they get better? You know what I mean? If that's what we're talking about, I can't say yes.
It's a little bit harder. It's a little bit harder for the
Yeah.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers to think they got better, and they got to do it again and with the offensive coordinator spot. But they do have plenty of weapons for Baker Mayfield to throw to.
Oh, man.
Good young offensive line too. It's obviously when Wirfs comes back and if he's the guy and it's a minor surgery and they just decide to get it done with him, and so you hope that goes well and misses whatever a short amount of time and he's back there, and you got Barton and Cody Mock and Gadecki. So that's a nice place to start. And Bucky Irving proven to be a really good running back. Rashad White proven to be they combined for what was it, almost 2,000 yards last year, didn't they?
Yeah.
Running the football. So let's see, 1,100 and 613 for Bucky Irving. So 17, almost 1,800 yards combined, just rushing football between those two guys.
It's a real weapon in the passing game, and now they've got an embarrassment of pass catchers. With Ibuka, and McMillan came on strong at the end of last year too. Evans, I don't think he's going away anytime soon. Godwin's injury worries me a little, but they did give him a big contract. They can't be super concerned about it.
I mean, draft pass rushers, man. I feel like every team we talk about is like, do they have enough pass rush though? You look at their defensive line, Villa in the middle and Kalijah Kancey, and I just love how comically different those two guys are shaped on the interior of their defensive line. And then you got like
DeVito and Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. So I think Hassan Reddick is like the big key here for this defense to really
they revitalize him.
Take off, right? And be like, okay, we got that guy that's that easy double-digit sack guy every single, Yaya Diaby and Hassan Reddick. And I think that's what they're banking on the defense of the ball. Can we just take a second too, just to give some flowers, as they say, to Levante David? And we've had a tweeter into the show, a listener that wants us to talk about him as how underrated in his Hall of Fame prospects, and we probably should in a mailbag episode soon. I think there's a Hall of Fame conversation we need to have. But Levante David has just been a phenomenal football player and just doesn't get talked about as much as he probably should.
No, I think he, career-wise, a smidge behind Bobby Wagner, Kuechly, Warner, some of these guys from the last 10, 15 years, but I think he's got an awful strong case for Hall of Fame too. I mean, perennial Pro Bowler, really, really good player, big time team leader. And I have a little bit of an affinity for those, the Steelers call them one helmet guys, like the Cam Haywards and TJ Watts that never leave the team. One helmet your whole career. I love that,
They've done a really good job in the second. There's been so many different corners, safeties, kind of filtering in and out. Field's been there for a while now for them, but Jamel Dean and Zion McCollum, and there's been guys that have been really good and then left, and then so they've just done a good job of continually putting together a decent or
good secondary,
very good secondary,
all homegrown guys,
homegrown guys, different pieces year to year. So phenomenal job again by Jason Light and this football team. Did they get better? It's hard to say that they got a lot better. I don't think they got worse. I think they're just right there. They're like, look, you guys have to come beat us. We don't have to go beat you guys. We already do that.
It's funny. I kind of forgot that they took Benjamin Morrison in the second round, and maybe it takes a while for him to do anything, but could he be the next Dean or Davis that they've developed? That tall, long. If he hits, man, that could.
He had first round talent. So even if he redshirts completely, maybe he gets a little work partway through the season. And I don't know exactly what his injury status is right now, if he's going to be on an injured list to start his rookie year or not. But
kind of a wild card though that could hit.
Starter in year 2. I mean, that's a second round pick all day for
absolutely
talent level.
Maybe they get nothing out of Ibuka and Morrison, but next year they're both great. Yep.
And as we know, the draft isn't about what guys do in year 1.
That's what good teams can do. They can wait.
Absolutely. Draft's very important for a lot of teams in this division. Let's talk Atlanta Falcons. Plenty of breakout players there potentially, and many of these teams in the NFC South. Next. Today's episode of Peacock and Williamson is brought to you by Rugiet. And you've probably heard of Viagra, Cialis. Maybe you've even tried them, but if you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet Rugiet Ready. Rugiet Ready is a next-gen prescription treatment designed to amplify arousal in the brain and boost blood flow. Unlike the usual pills that can take hours, Rugiet's 3-in-1 formula dissolves under your tongue and kicks in fast. On average, in 15 minutes, effects can last up to 36 hours, so you can stay confident and in control when the moment is right. If traditional options haven't worked, Rugiet might be the answer. Over 150,000 men have already made the switch, and it's completely online. Rugiet connects you with a board-certified doctor and ships your treatment discreetly to your door. So head to Rugiet.com/LockedOnNFL and use code LockedOnNFL to get 15% off today. That's Rugiet, RUGIET.com/LockedOnNFL and use promo code LockedOnNFL at checkout for 15% off. I think you put the Falcons in a group with probably really it's all those second-year quarterbacks. The Patriots with Drake May and the Chicago Bears obviously are a super fun team. I'm excited to watch this year. The Minnesota Vikings as well, and then I think the Atlanta Falcons is also that. When you've got a potential superstar, what they're hoping to be a superstar, second-year quarterback who gets the free reign. He gets the whole thing. He gets the whole pie.
Yeah.
Like, this is your football team now. Michael Penix at quarterback. Did the Atlanta Falcons get better going from Kirk Cousins is your guy to now Michael Penix is your guy with Kirk Cousins backing up him? Because that's the big change from last year to this year.
Obviously, that's the big topic of conversation. It's kind of like the J.J. McCarthy conversation, as you mentioned, and Caleb Williams, as you mentioned. To me, the biggest thing is if they got better is, are they ever going to find a pass rush? I mean, they so aggressively attack that. Just get from the worst pass rush in the league to league average would go a long way. But back to Penix, because we definitely need to talk about him. I'm a fan. I think Atlanta should be very excited about him. But I also think there's a lot of variance with him, too. I think he played 3 or 4 games. He's a big-time risk taker. There's a little Jameis Winston lurking in there, good or bad. I mean, he doesn't turn down throws, and he will rip it. And I think there'll be a couple games where, like, man, those 3 interceptions killed us. And then there'll be those games where, like, he threw 4 touchdowns to beat the Bucs. I mean, like, it could be a roller coaster.
Does it look like it comes out funny because he's left-handed, or does it come out funny? Is my question.
I know. I think it's
funny.
left-handed.
It's an interesting way he throws the football,
and he doesn't play like he tested in terms of athleticism, and making things happen when things break down. But boy, he can sling it.
He had a ton of weapons in college as well that helped prop him up, I think. And he does have some weapons here in the Atlanta Falcons, which is good news for him. And none more than,
he also had 2 really high drafted offensive tackles.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, it was a nice place to be in Washington in that era of football for Michael Penix. But he's got one of the better running backs in the NFL in Bijan Robinson to hand the ball off to throw it to. Drake London, a true number 1 receiver that can be the target hog player for him. Kyle Pitts, will we ever see what Kyle Pitts was supposed to be? They were listening to trade offers for Kyle Pitts this offseason too. So,
he's not on my breakout list.
He's not. For the first time in 5 years, he's not on the breakout list.
Right.
Yeah. And so that's kind of the big question that so you got Bijan, you got Drake London, what you're going to get there. Who's that next weapon on offense? I think one more needs to come from somewhere.
Yeah, and Mooney was a success story. Bijan might be the best running back in the league. You kind of hinted at it. Good offensive line. There's a center change, but all in all, it's been a lot of continuity there. Like Jake Matthews has had a really steady, solid career. I think the first year of this coaching staff was mostly a success, So I think the offense is above average.
So obviously the elephant in the room, that was the pass rush, and they addressed it as much as they could. They addressed it in 3 different ways. And in fact, I think maybe overspent trying to address it to get a second first-round edge rusher in James Pierce Jr. So Leonard Floyd was the free agent addition even before the draft. Then when the draft came around, they drafted Jalen Walker and another sort of 3-4 outside linebacker, traditional sort of stand-up pass rush guy in Jalen Walker, and then came back and traded up for James Pierce Jr., traded with the Rams and gave up a lot to get James Pierce Jr., who no doubt they probably would have taken if Jalen Walker wasn't there at 15, is basically what I'm learning from that move. And essentially, you can't fault. I think it was an overspend, but you can't fault them because they had to fix this. And they tried as hard as they could.
It's been 2 decades.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been like our whole lifetime. I mean, Vic Beasley had an okay season once. Otherwise, like John Abraham.
The other Jamal Anderson, right?
Yeah, he was a good player too.
Big.
Yeah. I would say John Abraham's like the only good one.
There you go, John Abraham.
Yeah. And they've tried and tried and tried. You would think in a dome, I mean, they should have a pass rush. I don't know if they'll get it or not.
Yep.
I still have a lot of questions about the defense. You know, like I love
you.
Bates, I love Terrell, you know, but
Right.
I'm not sure the front's that great.
Let's see it. It's got to all come together. Actually, I have questions about how both sides of the ball are coordinated, to be honest with you.
A little bit. Yeah.
It's a big question there. I like the head coach or both play callers on both sides of the ball. You know, is that
Are they giving them a tactical advantage every Sunday? I wouldn't say yes, you know.
Yeah. So still some questions. Did they get better? I think you could paint some of that picture, especially with the pass rush. They've tried. They for sure tried to get better. It all hinges on
I like the effort.
Right. Yeah. Let's find out. It's going to be a fun one, I think, for the Atlanta Falcons. The next team here, the Carolina Panthers, they were not in the bottom of the division this year. Well, actually, they were tied, so they won the tiebreaker. They were technically third place at 5 wins. Both of the Panthers and Saints 5-win football teams. Let's go to the Panthers first, Matt. And by the way, so we did the NFC North yesterday, maybe the best division in football, and the NFC South, which record-wise is the second worst division in football from last year, the AFC South worst. But almost 20 wins more in the North than the South.
Wow. Could be again this year too.
Can they?
Yeah.
Are they ready? Are the Panthers ready to do a little something? I think there's a glimmer of hope because of how Bryce Young finished the season last year.
Organizationally speaking, I mean, they're one of these teams that more or less has a new owner. I know it's been 5, 6, 7 years or whatever, but you know, Tepper made his fortunes elsewhere. I'm going to do something fun. I'm going to buy a football team. That doesn't mean you're a good owner. You know what I mean? Like you're good at hedge funds or whatever he does, you know,
and he's actively done some not great things.
That's where I was going with it. Those first couple of years, a lot of bright, shiny objects. Ooh, I want that. I'm going to overspend for it. Trade up for this guy, get rid of McCaffrey, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I feel like they actually now have a plan. Like they spent on interior O-line last offseason. They go get a quarter or a wide receiver. Kind of like our Bears talk. Like if you're going to spend the first overall pick on a quarterback, let's put everything around them to at least have a plan that I understand. And they're still a long way away. Their defense was historically bad last year, and their best player, Derek Brown, missed the entire year. They had a lot of not NFL starters playing tons and tons of snaps. So that side still has a long way to go. But at least I kind of understand what direction this boat is floating now. You know, it's not just drifting around, you know.
I like that. Yeah. So some direction at least, at the very least. Does that give you more than 5 wins? You hope it does.
I don't know. Can Young be the guy, or are we questioning him? It's still a year from now because then it's like 5th-year option time, and you know.
And until prepping for this show, I'd kind of forgotten that Andy Dalton is there.
Yeah, I mean, he replaced Young, and then he got in a car accident, right? And that got Young back in the mix,
right? And,
so that worked out for the better.
Maybe getting benched was the best thing for Young, and sometimes that happens. Yes. Sometimes it doesn't for players, and kind of resurrected the faith in him, I think, around the league for Bryce Young. But a big year for Bryce Young, or they're going back into the draft next year and looking potentially for another quarterback. They drafted him a big-time weapon in Ted McMillan in the first round, top 10 pick. Ted McMillan to go with their first-round pick last year in Xavier Legette, both big, tall, athletic pass catchers, and then in between them, the veteran in Adam Thielen there. So kind of like how that gets put together. And then you get Tommy Tremble at tight end, Jatavian Sanders maybe competing a little bit there as well, and Hunter Renfrow back in the NFL now and having an opportunity to work in there with the Carolina Panthers. So, Chuba Hubbard.
I think they have some playmakers.
Yeah.
And they have a deep receiver core now. I mean, the tight ends aren't wonderful, and the running backs they had a good ground game last year, and they invested in O-line. I think the offense is good enough to at least thoroughly evaluate Young and or be average. And that's a long way away from where they were.
Yeah. Probably in your mind not competing for a division title, though.
I can't imagine.
Offensive line.
I personally still have a lot of questions about Young.
Is Ekwonu good?
He's in my breakout question mark category.
Okay.
Like, he seems to be getting better, but is he top 6 or 7 overall draft pick offensive tackle better?
Right.
Not quite. I mean, there's still a lot of ability there, you know.
Not the guy they hopefully drafted as high as they drafted him, which is kind of becoming a trend here with the Carolina Panthers. Is
exactly.
You can look back. We talked about Jason Light and how well the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have drafted and put their team together. And you look at the Panthers, like, every single pick has been worse than they thought they were going to be, and they've
a little worse, right?
Yeah.
I hope Ted McMillan's not the next one, you know.
I do have some defensive breakout players potentially for the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, good, because
there's some players at every position group that you could be excited about potentially if you are.
A little bit. It's better than it was.
And the guy probably that's really looked like he wasn't going to hit as a draft pick and has now come around because he's healthy is J.C. Horn. Is really good.
Yeah, they extended him. He's a foundational player. I think him and Brown are two guys that you can be pretty happy with on defense as building blocks,
Absolutely. Let's talk about a team that you can't say that got better. They lost their quarterback and are maybe even more afloat than the Carolina Panthers were before they.
I hate how they're run and how they do business.
I disagree with everything the Saints do pretty much
all the time, every year. Yeah.
So I have no idea. We got to have Ross Jackson on the show.
They're old, expensive, and bad. Like that's a terrible combination.
It's a bad combination. Talk about it. And breakout players in the NFC South next. This is an ad by BetterHelp. Workplace stress is at an all-time high. 61%, in fact, of global workforce is reporting higher than normal stress levels. This summer is the perfect time to take small steps to focus on your wellness and manage the challenges that come with your workday. Of course, most of us can't just quit our jobs or take endless vacations, but we can start small, whether it's getting outside for a few minutes, adding movement into your day, or talking to someone who can help you navigate life's challenges. That's where BetterHelp comes in. Set healthier boundaries at work. Therapy can help with so many things, so stress doesn't spill over to the rest of your life. And I love the flexibility of online therapy. Makes it easy to fit sessions into a busy schedule no matter where you are. And as the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. So unwind from work with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/lockedon. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/lockedon. Today's episode of Peacock and Williamson is brought to you by FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. It's summertime, so we've got summertime sports, and that means very soon NFL football is going to start, and you can already bet on week 1 and get in on that NFL action. College football, tons of NFL props. Bet on your favorite team to win the Super Bowl, but with summer sports in full swing, maybe you're all about baseball under the lights every single day. Post All-Star game now, and golf on the green, high-stakes soccer action, all of it at FanDuel, the best way to make every game even more exciting, and you're already following the action, so why not make it a little more thrilling? With FanDuel, you can get in on the game while your friends are getting sunburnt on the beach, and heck, you can get sunburnt on the beach along with them and pull up that FanDuel app and get involved with all the new daily promotions and so many fun ways to bet. Live same-game parlays if you feel a baseball game maybe changing as it gets into the 9th inning and you feel that momentum shift. And if you're new to FanDuel, great. New customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Just open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com to get started. You know what's awesome to have in the NFL is really good, young, inexpensive football players. What it's not good to have is be old, broken down, and not good and expensive. And that's what the New Orleans Saints have put together. And they should have blown this thing up years ago.
Yeah, and I think Kamara, Davis, the Honey Badger, Cam Jordan, wonderful careers. I mean, I understand not wanting to just get rid of those dudes. I mean, they may be on the Ring of Honor someday, or maybe they even retire a jersey or two of those guys. But man, I mean, the way they're structured to me makes so little sense. And nobody kicks the can down the road more than these guys. And I got it when you had Drew Brees and you're going to the playoffs every year, but that was a long time ago, guys. And even just, I know this, I bring this up a lot, but it still floors me. With the exception of Tyler Shuck, who they took in the second round this year, the last time that they took a quarterback in round 1 or 2 was Archie Manning. Like,
I mean, and Tyler Shuck is not.
I wasn't even born yet, like granddaddy Archie Manning.
Tyler Shuck's not an amazing prospect either. Like,
no,
he's
right.
I get it as a second round guy. By the way, as of this recording, I don't think as the number 40 pick has even signed his rookie contract yet. So that's not great to have him not ready to show up
your starter, right?
When rookies report to training camp. And we'll talk a little bit more about the draft. But yeah, it's just almost every move they make, and Shuck's kind of one of them. Is like, I just don't really see the vision. So it's Tyler Shuck at quarterback versus Spencer Rattler versus Jake Hayner, who did not.
I think I like. I'm sorry. I think I like Shuck more than you do, and he actually is kind of on my breakout list because I don't think he's gonna. I don't think Shuck will suck.
Yeah.
But if he was 21, I would understand it for the Saints. At his age, he's had another old guy.
Yeah.
Back to our old guy.
I'm the oldest guy in the draft.
Right. Like, what do you? I don't get the vision at all. Right.
And they paid the full price for Shuck too. He was drafted.
Absolutely.
40. They didn't get him in the 4th, 5th round. They drafted him in 40 overall.
One thing I will commend them, because I did the same thing for the Jets, and when these teams go back-to-back tackles though, year after year, that's a good start. I mean, that I get. Give me 2 first-round tackles to build around. Okay, that's right up my alley.
The one thing that I have liked with the Saints the last, since Drew Brees, was just, and this was pre-Drew Brees as well, or pre-Drew Brees retiring, is the focus on the offensive line.
Always. Yeah. I mean, even if Penning didn't work out, at least, it's first round pick there, and they pay those guys. Jari Evans, they'll go way back,
So whether you're Alvin Kamara running the football, or you're Tyler Shucker, Spencer Rattler, your young quarterback back there, it's good news that they drafted a top 10 left tackle to go with their first round right tackle, Talise Fuaga, who should play on the right side.
Tackle, yeah.
Right. And then Trevor Penning, probably better guard than a
that might fit. They may have all found their home because of that pick.
McCoy and Cesar Ruiz, who are have been guys for a while.
McCoy's a really good player. Yeah.
Dylan Radens and some other players to compete in there as well.
Yeah, they have always invested in that, especially with Brees was there. I mean, they always were really strong at guard and center because of his lack of height.
Nick Saldiveri is another one I liked in the 3rd round.
Yeah,
I think he was hurt his rookie year.
Yeah, and McCoy missed a lot of time last year too. Who's like their proven guy, So
the
O-line might be okay.
A one hell guy, as you called him in another episode, the Cam Jordan, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he reminds me of like a Cam Hayward type that just is going to be a legend and is forever there. Great leader, all that good stuff.
To go with Cam Jordan though, what are we doing up front?
Kind of like Brise, but like. Young is okay. He didn't live up to being the 2nd overall pick, but that's just another one of these like Band-Aid live for today type moves. Like, who are you developing,
Young's not even okay. Young's not good. He's not good.
Yeah.
I guess it's the moratorium's up. I think I can tell this story now. I heard some stories about Chase Young that was like showing up an hour before kickoff to games and just walking up, and you're like, what are you doing? You're not on the injured list. Why are you the game's gonna kick off, and everybody that has something to do with the game is here already. It's just I don't think he cares much. That's kind of the MO on Chase.
Could see that, yeah. I mean, that reflects in his play,
right?
No one batted an eye when he went 2nd overall.
Oh no, talent wise, now it's and no team has wanted to keep him around.
That's the thing, and so that's the kind of guys that are kind of stuck getting those kind of castaways. You get a little bit of a discount. You have any flex. You have no liquidity with your salary cap, and they've made a lot of draft trades. And I don't know. They need a lot of breakout players, and frankly, like Olave and Shaheed need to stay healthy. I mean, they were throwing to me and you at the points last year too, but I just don't see a lot of hope.
Yeah, and who are the breakouts? Kool-Aid?
I had Kool-Aid on the list. I had Brise on the list. I'm not sure if it's Brise or Brise. I had both those guys. I don't know if either one's going to be a star. I put Shuck on the list just because I don't think he'll be horrendous, but I don't think it's going to be like, oh, they got the 1st overall pick. We can't take Arch or the LSU kid because of Shuck. I mean, I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
And I put Fuaga on the list. I mean, asking him to play the left was, I thought, a little extreme.
Yeah, he's that traditional power right tackle, right? If anything, I'd put him at right guard before I put him at left tackle.
Yeah. So I do think the O-line is shaking out to be a lot better, like you mentioned.
So, we're not super excited about the New Orleans Saints.
No.
What about some other breakout players? Let's go to the Carolina Panthers. Is anybody interesting to you to watch in the Panthers this season?
I did Icky ? Like maybe he puts it all together. Sanders is a part-time tight end. I was squinting a little bit there.
I think everyone's really excited about Tremble, and I'm not sure if I'm ready to. I'm not sure that's a slam dunk yet.
I
like
agree.
Sanders as well.
I don't think Coker was a flash in the pan. I think he's a legit number 3 receiver, but he might need Thielen to retire to really be out there all the time.
Right. Coker's not going to see the field as it is right now. So your hope that breakout player is obviously, the first round guy, but Rugiet, could he give you more?
I mentioned him too, because as usual, Matt Harmon did a great wide receiver breakdown of the Panthers and really thought Rugiet was asked to do the traditional on the line of scrimmage X stuff. And the drafting of McMillan, it's kind of like the Fuaga conversation. The drafting of McMillan should let Rugiet be more of the Z move guy, which I think fits him better. So there might be a real ripple effect there of getting a true X and putting Rugiet in a better situation.
I can buy that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't love him, but
I like Nick Scorton a lot. He was an underrated prospect. Getting him in the second round where they did, I think was an awesome pick. And he's got, who's going to block him from being just like the number one pass rusher on that defense? Pat Jones, DJ Wanham's a good player. DJ Johnson's not going to block him. Boogie Basham's not going to block him. Princely Iman Mielen might be a rotational guy, but he's not going to block.
Pass rush specialist.
Scorton from an every down role. So I like Nick Scorton there.
Good one. He should play a lot. Maybe even bump inside on passing downs,
And another one, Shao Smith-Wade, nickel.
Okay. Good one. Yeah.
That name out there.
I like it. I didn't do any defensive guys. I probably should
have. How about where we at here? We are on the Atlanta Falcons. I think there's plenty. Obviously, the quarterback is the biggest breakout there, much like JJ McCarthy, much like Drake May and some others. All eyes on Michael Penix Jr. Do you have any other potential breakouts for the Atlanta Falcons?
I put rookie edge ? Hopefully one of the two. It's kind of like our Bears conversation, Burden and or Odunze. That would be wonderful for them. I hope one of them at least really looks like it's worth the price of admission.
That's kind of where I have the problem with it. Like you need them both to hit because you spent 3 first-round picks, right? Well, not exactly 3 first-round picks. I think you got a third
round back, and right.
But
but you need more than one just to be.
If you spent 2 first-round picks and you get 1 stud edge rusher, I think most teams would be like, okay, we got 1 guy. But if you spent more than that too, so you need 1 plus.
I agree. This guy might be more underrated than breakout, but Caden Ellis is a do-it-all. Falcon fans are probably like, oh, I love Caden Ellis. I mean, he's a quality player. I think both of us, I don't want to speak for you, are pretty excited about Xavier Watts next to Bates. I think he's kind of a plug-and-play safety. And
the thing I don't like about it is that was the comp.
He's the same guy, though.
Yeah,
you're right. I don't love that part. And I think Bergeron is an emerging guard, too.
I like it. Yeah. So plenty of reasons to be excited if you're an Atlanta Falcons fan this season. And so, I mean, come on, if you got 2 new star pass rushers and a star quarterback, I mean, you're zooming.
Well, that would be awesome. I
mean,
that's the home run. Yeah.
And it's possibly what they did.
Possibly what they did.
Bucs breakouts.
I think we forgot that Barton was not a center at Duke. And I think year 2 of playing center full time, he'll be in that like top 5 Frazier conversation, So
he was like my number 1 breakout in the division. It was Graham Barton.
Okay.
I didn't talk a lot about him when we were first mentioning the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I loved the tape for Graham Barton. He was a left tackle. They're moving him into center. And, we've talked about it many times. Center's a tough position to play as a rookie. And so
it is. And he did well.
Big time potential breakout for Graham Barton year 2.
Yep. Yaya Diaby's another one. I've been watching him more and more, and I think that he's better than given credit for. And the fact that they didn't go crazy on the edge, maybe they know that he's ready to break out. Tyke Smith had a really impressive rookie year. He's kind of that slot, do-it-all, safety, tough guy. And a pair of my pit guys. I think Cansey, who's so different than Vea, and Cavassier Dennis. I mean, this is
I was hoping you were going to bring him up because I wanted to bring him up.
Yep. I think they have some young guys on defense that could kind of break out,
Yeah, Zion McCollum's on my list last year,
Good one.
and he kind of did break out. A little up and down, though, still. I want to see some more consistency from Zion McCollum. He's a freakishly talented guy.
Great one. Yeah. I think they're happy with him, but boy, he could be a through-the-roof guy.
Right. Let us know. Who are your favorite breakout players? How do you see this thing finishing in the NFC South? At BD Peacock, at Williamson NFL. Drop a comment on YouTube. Get a question in for this week's mailbag, and subscribe while you're there. And back tomorrow, right here. Peacock and Williamson.